Dawn of Man was released on March 1, 2019 and has had updates over time. It is a survival city builder sim game with similarities to Banished. Dawn of Man focuses on a settlement survival. How is Dawn of Man different from other town management sims? To answer that question, we must first look into how the game is played. When creating a new game, you have the option to choose either a normal game mode and hardcore. Hardcore games cannot be paused, and is of course more difficult, such as wild animals being more aggressive and raiders having larger numbers. At the start of a game, you have a few people at your disposal with nothing much. You are their guiding hand. You'll have to tell them where they can gather sticks, flint, food, and other useful resources. You can set the max number of people that can work in an area. Workers will then go there assuming they don't have job queues, not exceeding the set amount of workers amount. The map is huge for your tiny settlement, but beware, there is no mini-map to guide you where you are at. You'll have to follow the river, at least that's what I do, or memorize the land. Each of your people have unique names, and they have needs. These needs include health, nutrition, hydration, temperature, stamina, rest, and morale. If some of these stats go down bad, that person can die. Citizens can die in this game, and when they do, it has an effect on others. People lose morale when someone dies, and you can help them by making a burial mound where they can bury and mourn the dead. With this, some of the lost morale can be replenished. There are different ways a person in your settlement can die. Wild animals sometimes attack your people and they have no mercy. They will try to kill even the children. Other ways your people can die include starvation, animal infections, lightning strikes, human raids, hypothermia, and other factors that degrade a person's stats. Did I say lightning strikes? Yeah, your people and domesticated animals can randomly be struck by lightning and die. The challenge in late games is being able to steadily increase your population. While people can die, new births can also happen. If you have enough welfare and open slot in your population, then the women of your settlement can give birth to new citizens, and people from who knows where they came from can also join your settlement. The people of this game have age groups. There are kids, adults, and elderly people. Kids can do simple tasks and carry less resource. Adults can do all tasks and carry more stuff, and the elderly is the same as adults except their stats degrade faster. Your people has a sort of inventory slot to them. For example, a kid can go and pick some sticks, but they are limited to one slot in their inventory. Adults, on the other hand, can carry more items as well as are able to use tools that is also slotted in their inventory. Later on, you'll have access to sledges and carts that are pulled by horses, where your people can carry more resource. The first important structure you build is a crafter. It's a crafting area where the raw resources your people gather in the world can be transformed into useful tools. A random citizen will then automatically proceed to the crafting station to create this item. Your people take the necessary raw resource to make items, put it in the crafter slot, and stay there to create the item when all materials are present. All action in the game take time to complete, so you have the option to speed up time to times 2, 4, and 8. And yeah, there will be a ton of waiting around. A ton of waiting, in fact, that you will really use times 8 speed a lot. I admit that it does get boring sometimes, especially in the early stages. Hunting or killing animals will yield food and some other materials like skin and bone. But you will also have the option to domesticate different kinds of animals to be used in a farm or protect you from intruders. Early game, you'll have to assign workers to gather wild fruits and vegetables. But as you learn new tech, you'll be able to create a self-sustaining settlement where you can make your own farms and domesticate animals. Resources you get from the world gets depleted. Fishing areas, for example, will have no more fish if you keep fishing in the same spot. Eventually, the depleted fishing area would naturally replenish itself. But even though they naturally replenish, it doesn't replenish fast. So you can't really rely on forever fishing near your settlement as the main source of food, for example. Food store decay over time. Raw meat and fruits go bad faster. All tools also degrade over time as well as structures. And tools have a set number of uses and number of years for their lifespan, whichever comes sooner. Some food, like fruits and berries, grow a lot during summer, so during these days, it's best to consume these fast decaying resources and save for the winter season. Resources you gather can be stored not only in storage areas, but also inside people's homes. Speaking of winter, people and some animals can die of cold, so it's important to keep them warm and sheltered during these hard times. Having enough sticks and logs to use inside your huts is vital to keep everyone warm, as well as having thicker clothes. As you acquire more types of resources, you'd be able to craft more advanced stuff. A lot of raw resource you gather, however, cannot be used as material as soon as you collect them. Things like raw skin from an animal must first be treated before it can be used. Wool from domesticated sheep, flax gathered from farms, can be processed to cloth and further processed into wool clothes or linen clothes. Different processed materials require its own set of raw resource, which in my opinion may seem daunting when you just started, but really it's quite simple. You'll mainly be focusing on directing the people where the raw resources they need are at, and the system will work by itself. As you do stuff in your game and your people learn about things in the world, you acquire knowledge points. These points can then be used in the tech tree. It simulates how the people are learning as they go about their daily work and exploration. The game is similar to Banished. What differentiates this game from most town management sims is I think its focus on the people's survival and how you direct them towards useful resource. Although that has already been done by Banished. It wants you to help the people survive however you can, but you can also make a good looking town if you want. From time to time I got bored with just watching the gameplay itself while I set the speed to ×8. Even late game, there are times where I can go AFK and let my people live their daily lives. As a matter of fact, I can leave the speed to ×8, Alt tab, browse the net, brew coffee, and my people can function alone. I taught and guided them well, but of course they need my guiding hand from time to time. But beware of raids if you AFK. When I was not paying attention, my town got raided and I wasn't able to alert my people in time. Many of them died. The AI for battles is not that great. There really isn't that much excitement to this game up to the latest age, which is Iron Age. I thought there was gonna be some sort of medieval battles during the Iron Age, but the simple AI remains the same. There's a lot of waiting around, and I must admit I thought I wouldn't like this game. But as the population grew, I felt like I wanted to grow the population more and see how far it can get me, prevent deaths, and keep on expanding. Watching your people live their daily lives, from a handful to 100 people, has this feeling of achievement to it. Dawn of Man isn't expensive, and for its price, you'll get really good value. With all that said, I give this game a 7 out of 10.